Hi, I'm Allison. I'm the health coach in the Wildside Wellness Metabolic Reset program, and I'm here today with Courtney, who is one of our Metabolic Reset clients who has just finished her 10 weeks of the reset. The Metabolic Reset is a 10-week program with 6 weeks of losing and 4 weeks of maintenance. So welcome, Courtney. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So Courtney, why don't you start? I know tons about you because I've got to coach you weekly over the last 10 weeks, but why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about you?
Okay, I am 36. I will be 37 at the end of the year, and I have two little boys. I work part-time for a family business, and we also have a grain farm. So life is really busy and chaotic. My boys are just shy of a year and a half apart, and they are all over the place. So my life is really busy. So I never really take any time for myself. It's always helping others. So this was an adventure for me. This is not something I would typically do. It was a phone call, and I jumped on board right away.
Amazing. And we're so glad that you did. And so why don't you start by telling us a little bit about what your health was like before the Metabolic Reset program?
I thought my health was fine. I was, however, severely overweight. I thought I felt fine. I had a back injury in '06 where I broke my T11 vertebrae, and I just thought that I would always just have back pain from that. So I was just not taking time for myself, not exercising, just living life every day. And I just felt like it was just the way my life was going to be. I come from a family of overweight people, and we love food and sit around the table and have a couple drinks. So it was not a lifestyle change that I was thinking I was making in the next couple years. I was just going to go on as usual. But until I realized how good I could feel after doing the metabolic reset.
Amazing. And so you mentioned that you kind of weren't happy with your weight. And so can you tell me, had you tried any weight loss strategies before joining the Metabolic Reset?
As a staff at the place I work, we were all doing the keto thing. So some of the girls were super successful. I tried it and I lost, I think it was like 6 pounds in 3 weeks. And I thought this was garbage, and I just wasn't for me. I needed something structured. My portions were like so out of control that I was never going to be able to lose anything, even if I did keto. I needed a more structured plan that was going to help me and designed for me.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the things about the Metabolic Reset is that we specifically design it for you. And your coaching sessions are specific to you to take you from the health journey that you're currently at. Because we have people join the program at all different levels of health. And so we were able to work together exactly where you are. And I think one of your success stories is that you got to prioritize yourself a little bit and learn how to do that.
Yeah, that was different for me, but I'm so happy that I made that change.
Good. And so what do you think it was that interested you most about the Metabolic Reset when we kind of hopped on that discovery call? What was it that you thought, hey, this might be different and this might work?
Well, honestly, talking to you, I felt like there was like a chance maybe I could lose some weight. And I'm pretty competitive, and you could coach me through that, although sometimes that competitiveness hurts me. You were able to, just in the first half hour of talking, just you knew how to work with that to help push me. And I just felt like it was time. I need to fit into a dress for a wedding upcoming, hopefully this October. And I had no choice but to make a change. And you supported me through that just in a half hour phone call, just, giving me the guidelines. And I thought, heck, why not?
Amazing. Amazing. So, what would you say to anyone right now who's on the fence about, optimizing their health and putting their health first? You mentioned earlier that like at the time, you weren't really kind of looking for something, but then you came across us and found us, and it's, been life changing. But, what would you say to someone who's not prioritizing their health right now?
it's time. There's never really going to be a great time. And for me, I'm doing this through this COVID pandemic. So it was at first I wanted to just give up and eat whatever was in my cupboard. But I didn't think I was ever going to feel good. Well, I didn't realize that maybe felt so bad and lived so many years feeling so terrible. I feel so good, and I'm anxious to play on the floor with my boys and play games, and I sleep so good, and people notice, people comment on it, and I just feeling good. And sure, I've lost quite a bit of weight, but it's really how I feel, and food doesn't control me. And I've learned to deal with my cravings, and I've learned all these things that I thought were never going to go away. They were just a part of my life. So it's never going to be the perfect time. So don't try and wait till after summer or, during winter. You just have to take the plunge.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great advice. And so how would you say that your life and your health has changed now? Like, what are the big differences you find between now and where you were 10 weeks ago?
Physically, I didn't realize at first until a meeting with you, and I just, like, all of a sudden it clicked. I'm like, I have no more back pain. I have no more leg cramps or leg pain. I can run up and down my stairs to do my laundry with not being out of breath. There's all those health things that I realized it took me a couple weeks. I knew I was feeling good, but it really kind of just hit me. I was like, wow, I feel awesome. But it's hard when you're a mom with young kids that are constantly, needing your attention. You don't always get to sit and think for yourself. Mm-hmm. So, and emotionally, I would have never said that I was an emotional eater or ate out of boredom. But wow, I realize all those things, and food doesn't control me. And I am smart enough now to make good food decisions.
Amazing. And it wasn't like, I feel like once you got past those emotional things and that, like, eating healthy isn't hard.
No, not at all. And I was panicking at first when, to start the program's a little overwhelming. I will say that, just because I had never really done a program before. And you and Dr. Brianna have been excellent to try and, or to explain everything, but it's still overwhelming to know that at this time you take this and this is what you eat. And this is, but there's so much flexibility in what you eat. And I'm just kept it super simple. There's an awesome recipe book, and I tried a couple of them, which was great. So I put those into my rotation. But it was really, for me, keeping it simple.
Awesome. And that's the thing. We have foodies in our program who make really fancy meals, and we have people who keep it very simple. It is completely flexible. One of the questions people always ask me is it a food plan where you have to eat this on Monday and this on Tuesday? And it definitely isn't. We give you guidelines for what you need to eat, but those guidelines are free for you to do with what you want. So one last question, if you don't mind.
Yep.
What words of wisdom would you share with the current Metabolic Reset members who are maybe in need of some motivation right now? What would you say to them?
Oh, you can do it. Honestly, if you're struggling, tough it out. It is so worth it in the end. And then you see where you started and where you came from. I'm still, I don't think I give myself enough credit. So make sure that you give yourself enough credit. Those numbers on the scale are sometimes just numbers because they don't move every day. But when you look to where you started, and just the whole emotional, the emotional piece and the physical piece at the end, there is a goal in sight, and you may not reach it, but you have to try. So just keep going. Some days are a struggle, I know, but you can do it. It feels so good at the end. So worth it.
That is amazing advice. Thank you so much, Courtney. One of the things that, if you're comfortable with, I would like to add is that of all of the fabulous things that you've said about our program, Typically, people lose between 20 and 40 pounds in a 6-week losing period. And of all of the fabulous things that you've shared with us, you never once said how much weight you have lost. Are you willing to share with us how much weight you lost in the 6 weeks period? And I love that you don't
Yes.
take that as, that's not one of your big takeaways.
No, it was really, and I remember you telling me, I really wanted to know, okay, so what's my ideal body weight? And you always said, well, it's where you feel good. And I was thinking, it's just a cop out. But it's really, am I at my ideal weight? I don't think so, but I feel so good. I'm not necessarily concerned about how much I weigh now. I feel great. So I have lost in 6 weeks 45.8 pounds as of this morning. So
that is amazing. Congratulations on your fabulous lifestyle change. I look forward to working with you in the future and staying connected. And you can only get even more healthier from here. You're in such a great place, and you're just going to keep feeling great.
Thank you for all your support, and to Dr. Brianne too. I couldn't have done it without constant support. And I'm sure that I've asked 1,010 questions, but it was all worth it. All worth it.
Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.